Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, Golding reaffirms a commitment to eliminating fixed-term contracts. Opposition leader Mark Golding has reaffirmed his commitment to eliminating the practice of fixed-term contracts in the private and the public sectors if his party forms the next government. Mr. Golding, speaking at a meeting of his People's National Party in Hanover on Friday, argued that the fixed-term contract system is being misused and is denying workers their basic rights. He said that the contract system has to be reviewed, especially for workers in the BPO and the tourism sectors. Mr. Golding added that he will be meeting with members of the private sector to discuss the issue, which has been a concern for the island's trade unions.
Another issue, and it affects many of us here in Hanover, is the terms of employment in the tourism industry. It's not just the tourism industry that has this issue, because we know, for example, in the global services industry, them call it BPO, that was its original name, similar things apply. This use of short-term contracts to keep people on short-term contracts so that you can have them like hanging from a string, and you don't give them the security of tenure in their job, and you're depriving them of the benefits that the employment laws of the land intended them to have, but you're not giving it to them. Time come to cut out that. Time come to cut out the misuse of contract work terms in the country. I am not saying that there's no role for contracting people to do work. We all know if you're hiring somebody, a carpenter, or you're hiring a plumber, or you're hiring some technical specialist, they're not going to become your employee. They're doing a work for you, and you have a contract. Might be an oral contract, usually it is. Sometimes it might be a written contract for certain types of. But for people who are essentially full-time employed, coming to work every day, day in, day out, the rules of the job are determined by their employer. The pay that they're getting is determined by their employer. They are workers for that enterprise. They must have the full range of rights that the workers of Jamaica have fought long and hard for, and which the People's National Party played a great role in guaranteeing.
Election preparations in high gear, says EOJ. The Electoral Office of Jamaica says preparations are in high gear for the next general elections. Director of Elections Glasspool Brown told the news that the EOJ is far advanced in its recruitment of election day workers, with the target being in excess of 30,000 persons to assist us on the day. He added that training of these election day workers has been going well and should be completed in a couple weeks. Mr. Brown also disclosed that more than 100,000 uncollected voter ID cards are at EOJ offices across the island, noting that the new cards will allow us to move the process much faster on election day. He stressed, however, that electors may still vote without their voter ID cards, but the process will take more time.
We are fairly advanced in our preparation. We have recruited a number of persons, election day workers. We are seeking to recruit in excess of 30,000 persons to assist us on the day. And we have recruited a significant amount of those persons, and we are fairly advanced in our training. And we seek to wrap up that in a couple of days or weeks. We are comfortable. We're certainly in terms of our timeline of where we want to be. We still have a few openings that we're still recruiting on a few persons to complete our recruitment. The other phase that we need to embark upon, we won't be able to start that phase until after announcement and nomination day. We are urging electors who have not yet collected their renewed ID card to do so before the election. The new card will allow us to move the process much faster on election day, and a number of cards remain in offices, and we are asking persons who have not yet picked up their card to contact their local EOJ constituency office and try and pick up their renewed ID card as quick as possible. There are in excess of 130,000 thereabout cards in the offices across the island, in the 70 offices that we have across the island. I must remind electors that who were registered after 2016 their ID card would have been automatically renewed, and therefore most likely the card remains in offices and they need to pick those up. As I said earlier on, it will assist the process to move much faster on election day.
Winford Williams receiving medical care following accident. On-stage host and veteran entertainment journalist Winford Williams is currently receiving medical care following a vehicular accident involving members of his team. In a statement posted to the official at Onstage TV Instagram account, Williams addressed the incident and thanked the supporters for their concern. "I would like to sincerely thank all my well-wishers, including fans, friends, and supporters, for your outpouring of concern and the kind messages following the report of the accident involving myself and the members of the Onstage team," he said. Photos of the crash have made the rounds online, but Williams sought to ease public concern. While some of the images circulating may appear frightening or even gruesome, thankfully, the actual injuries sustained by those of us in the vehicle were not life-threatening. By God's grace, the situation is not as severe as some posts have suggested. He remains hopeful as he awaits further updates on his recovery. "At the moment, I am at the hospital awaiting further updates regarding my recovery process. I remain hopeful and grateful for the support and the prayers. Thank you once again for your continued love and encouragement." Water supply regulations take effect in Kingston and St. Andrew. Water supply regulations come into effect today for sections of Kingston and St. Andrew due to the continued impact of drought conditions on the National Water Commission's major water sources. In addition to outlining a water supply schedule for customers in communities throughout the KSA, the NWC urged the customers to play their part in reducing the impact of the drought by practicing water conservation at home and work. Customers have been asked to economize by being conscious of daily water use and avoiding excess use during cleaning, cooking, and hygiene routines. The NWC also advised the customers to repair leaking taps, toilets, and the service lines. A single leak of 1 drop per second can waste over 2,400 gallons per year, the utility company noted. The NWC also recommended that customers replace or retrofit older fixtures with aerators, flow regulators, and low flush toilet systems to reduce water usage. Collect and reuse grey water from wash stands or kitchen sinks for flushing toilets, water plants, or cleaning surfaces. The implementation schedule is as follows. Mona and Hope Networks, effective Monday, July 21, 2025. Constant Spring Network, effective Wednesday, July 23, 2025. As at July 18, storage levels at the Mona Reservoir have declined to 46.3% and the Hermitage Dam to 58.3%, necessitating stricter supply management to maintain reliability. These measures are expected to remain in place until rainfall improves, anticipated in the September-October rainy season. The NWC appreciates the public's cooperation and understanding during this period and assures customers of its continued efforts to manage the network efficiently under these challenging conditions. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.